Yeah, I haven't set the recording path on it, so it's been temporarily. I'm good. Glad to be back. Looking forward to this one. I've had a lot of good fun around this circuit on both the dailies and on oNiD events, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the... I think this is the first time we've run it with open setups, so this is going to be really interesting.
quicker. 1 minute 30.734, an impressive lap there. Is Angela Scott even quicker, 1 minute 30.3. So actually very close in the MP2 class. But this is what I was going to mention. Coming down into Del Roggia here, you can see the cars kind of, well, when they get to the braking zone, you're just below 310 kilometers per hour, and it's very hard to get the car stopped for this corner because you come into it with so much pace, as you see. There we go, Angela just getting onto the brakes, and that's the issue, is trying to get the car stopped, and it's not really a car that you can do much engine braking in. I've found it's very hard to, you can't really slam it down the gearbox. You are really relying on the brakes, and as you can see for Angela there, it's just caught them out.
Yeah, Jacob Hine goes top there. He's very happy with, clearly going to be happy with that. Yeah, I found the temptation is really to front load the brake bias, just to give it that stopping power at the front, stop it switching ends. But if you do that, you do lengthen your braking distance a bit, and that's going to be crucial to making overtaking moves this evening.
Yeah, so it is kind of a bit of a con and a bit of a pro. Do you want to be a little bit more stable in the corners, but maybe struggle when it comes to trying to overtake other drivers because you're going to be braking that little bit earlier? Or are you going to, leave the brakes how they are and risk potentially locking up like we just saw from Angela Scott earlier? It's going to be tricky, but from what we've seen this season, it seems like everyone's kind of going for that more aggressive strategy, and it has, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends how, as we've said, consistent you are throughout the race, and if you can basically keep the car facing in the right direction. And it's Alfie's back to the top of the times. 1 minute 28.908 from Alfie is just about just under 6 tenths actually on pole position at the moment. As we come to Jacob Hine, this is their second time around as well, I think, or third time, and they do improve up to second, but still half a second to Alfie at this stage in the session. So not getting too close to Alfie yet is anyone in that LMP2 class. I do notice we are missing some names. I don't actually, no we're not. I couldn't see Cowley, but no, 1.3 seconds off of Bevan at the moment in the session. Wood is still in third. Visperaz up in fourth. A decent qualifying session from themselves so far, but still a long way to go. Probably should worth mentioning as well, down in the NMGT3 field, Chris Downing leads that class at 1 minute 40 with Christian Kiesig. And he's off the circuit.
He's time to go to Chris then, wasn't it?
Dear, I think we've cursed him. that was far from ideal to go toward Chris, but he is the fastest driver still in this session. 1 minute 40.614 from him. Christian Kiesig, it's about 6 tenths off of him, but he's kind of going for 4 out of 4 pole positions. Obviously didn't win last time out, fell away a bit near the end of the race, just got his strategy ever so wrong at Circuit de la Sarthe, and it really did cost him in the end. And that's not something we're used to seeing from a driver like Christian Kiesig. Normally very, very tactical and very, very quick. So really, I mean, this is a circuit he should be pretty familiar with. It's obviously the Curva Grande layout, so he is missing the chicane, so it will obviously be a little bit different, but it is a circuit that spans across multiple titles that we've seen great performances from Kiesig from before. So we'll see what he does on this lap time anyway. He comes up towards the start-finish line, comes across the line just about now. I don't think he's going to improve. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's a shock. And actually, Townsend just slots in between them. 42 thousandths off of Downing's best time. That's a great lap from the BMW M4 driver to, we'll get onto the front row of the field. We'll look for, just looking back at the LMP2 class again, Hein getting a little bit closer to Bevan, but still only 0.397 away from Alfie. That's for a circuit that doesn't contain many braking zones, that is going to be hard to find on this lap. It's going to really be about carrying the speed as well as they can. Wood down to fourth. Morgan's running up in the top 5 as actually Wood now comes up onto the front row of the grid and it goes into second place.
Doesn't it? Which is, he's going to be happy with that considering he's not had the best of time in this car so far. It's not really been one that he's been quick to get the hold of, but if he can manage to hold on to that P2, he's going to be very happy with the start here. Yeah,
I mean, it's a great starting spot for them. Also, like, just to be alongside Alfie. It's going to be and actually that's the thing though, it's like it is a bit like the Mexico Grand Prix we had a couple of weeks ago. Is do you actually want to be on pole for this race, because the slipstream you're going to have all the way down to Del Roggia is going to be pretty strong, and it is going to create potentially. I wouldn't even hazard a guess to saying it's probably going to be 4 wide potentially going into that corner. It's going to be such a strong slipstream for people, and also the thing is as well, the braking for that corner as well. It's going to, with all those cars around you trying to guess where everyone else is braking. It could be a bit of carnage, to be honest.
Yeah, I think survival of Curva Grande is going to be the first point of order for a lot of these drivers. The LMGT3 cars actually understeer a little bit in there, unless you've taken a lot of rear wing off, which a lot of these guys are doing to get the straight line. But if you leave it fairly close to baseline, they'll start to swing out. So with LMP2s coming through them later in the race as well, it's going to make traffic management very interesting for these guys.
It's going to look a bit like a motorway in terms of traffic management. You're going to have the LMP2s on the right hand side in the fast lane, then the LMGT3s in the slow lane on the left hand side. It's going to look, it is going to look like, I don't know, the A14. I'm just thinking of a dual carriageway. Anyway, as we come to Dave Wood, there he's just tinkled across the gravel there, so that's gonna that's gonna have wasted that lap time. But he is top of the times, 25 thousandths ahead of Alfie Bevan, who's coming out the pit lane, looking like he wants to get those tyres warmed up nice and quickly to try and have a go at taking that pole back, because well, as I said, it would be the 3rd in the row for Alfie, 4th for Kiesig if he can get any closer. But Downing and Townsend still at the top of the times in the LMGT3 field, which is quite close. Top 4 are only separated by just over 2 tenths. Actually, no, scratch that, as Johansson, what time, goes to the top. No, Kiesig has stolen it again. So that's a 1 minute 40.536 for Kiesig. 45 thousandths quicker than Johansson, and actually only 78 thousandths quicker than Downing, and that's all that separates the top 3, and it's only 3 tenths that separates the top 5 now, with Metcalf, last time's winner at Circuit de la Sarthe, only 3 tenths back themselves. So really, oh no, never mind, Elliot Lewis is now only just over 2 tenths back from the pole time, so really close is this field as we come to the end of this session. Only 4 minutes to go now, so only a couple laps to go in this session. Still the same at the top of the LMP2 class though.
Yeah, there is a lot of car reliance going on here. I am being reliably informed by certain admins that the McLaren is very, very strong round here in the LMGT3s with its straight line performance. Porsche, I mean, I think Kiesig is out driving the car there probably in terms of the Porsche, but at the moment it is McLaren behind him. It's McLaren, BMW. In fact, it might be 4 BMWs in a row.
Yeah, there's Max Sparrow. Oh, and yeah, then Pesienek. Yeah, the only other car. Actually, no, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, he's in 8th behind that big train of BMWs. And no, that's not going to help either, because Spin's like the second Lesmo there. We'll just look away and pretend you didn't see that.
Andy Hearn
Here we come to
in a BMW.
Andy Hearn. He's running in the BMW up in 9th, so he can make it another BMW row if he can make up 1 or 2 places as he comes up towards the start finish line. Only has the final corner to go, the Parabolica, so he's going to come up to the braking zone. Now turns the BMW in.
Townsend goes to P1 in class.
Oh, well, great lap time for Matt Townsend. Takes it by just over a tenth from Kiesig. So, really, the LMGT3 is coming really good at the end of this session. I don't know if the track's improving, but they just seem to be finding time as the session goes on. Alfie's still only 25 thousandths back from Wood at the top of the LMP2 class, so that's really not much for Alfie to find over a lap. Well, here comes Matt Townsend. Still looks like they're pushing as they come through Del Roggia into the first of the Lesmos, using all of the track that's available to them. Not too much on the rumble strip there, though. Keeps it on the Italian flagged curbing there, and we'll come back onto the back straight here as... Yeah, looking pretty competitive in this car as it currently stands, as he's now going to come up towards Ascari coming under the old oval above him there, under the Michelin sign as well. We'll see him just as he gets to the green board, orange board there, I mean. Jumps on the brakes, turns the car in, and actually looks like a pretty comfortable car to drive. Oh, I take it back. The curb did not like him there, and he's all across the gravel.
We're definitely a curse this evening, aren't we? Everyone we go to runs into trouble.
I'm not looking forward to the first lap. I feel like we're going to say something.
Possibly. Christian Kiesig. He was just about to finish a lap. Will he take that P1 spot back? No, I don't think he did.
No, didn't. Still just attempt back from Townsend. I mean, we did see it took that Porsche a couple of laps to set its best lap time, so I don't know if it just comes good late in its qualifying stint, but yeah, still attempt back from Townsend. Not
very consistent as Kiesig. He's within about 500ths of his best time every single lap.
Yeah, so, I mean, that must be so frustrating, though, to be just that. I mean, it's good to be consistent at this stage, but really, he must be scratching his head on where to find the time at the moment, because he must be absolutely pushing everywhere. And as you've said, the BMWs and the McLarens must just be like a better set-up car for this venue. And, well, that is going to prove tricky for Christian. I mean, but we know he does make it work on strategy, usually. It didn't work last week, but again, a circuit I assume he's very familiar with. It's one that we come to regularly on this platform and on ACC, so it should be something that he's familiar with, at least if he can't get pole position here. And I don't think a second out of he's had 3 poles this season, and to still start, actually no, down to 3rd now as Downing goes to the top of the times in their McLaren, so that's a 1:40.283. Takes it again by about a 10th from Townsend. So still, this LMGT3 class very close to the top. Angela Scott actually we've missed LMP2 class leader now with a 1:28.460. So nice time from themselves, and obviously that car's all single spec. So all very representative lap times, and an interesting to see a change at the front of the field. Anyway, here comes Kiesig, and I don't think they're improving either as they come across the line. No, still not an improvement, and that's it for the Porsche. So it's only good enough for the second row of the field, and well, after taking 3 poles in a row at the 4th round, it looks like the streak's broken, and Downing is going to take pole. There you go. There's your times from that's from practice, but
yeah,
Alfie, as you can see, that's good to look at as well, though. Alfie fastest in practice, but obviously it's changed here as we go on to rows for the field. As you see, Angela Scott, first pole of the season with Alfie, with Wood on the 2nd row. 3rd, Alfie Bevins, and then 4th goes away of Jacob Hine. On row 3, got Adusa Carpenter sneaking inside that top 5. 6th, James Cowley in his car. Row 4, we go to Leon Visperaz, and 8th is Charlie Morgan. On row 5 of the field, we've got Janos Kovac in 9th, and 10th has gone the way of honored driver Dan Tomlinson. Then we go to row 6, it's Frank Vevic in 11th, 12th has gone the way of Dan Steffens. If we go to row 7, we've got Alex Wood in 13th, and 14th has gone the way of Manny Steiner. Then on to row 8 of the field, it's first the MGT3s. Chris Downing, first pole position of the season, followed by 16th place Matt Townsend. A great start for them as well. Row 9, Christian Kiesig. It was 3 in a row, but it's been broken. 18th has gone the way of Daniel Johansson in the McLaren. Car running strong today. Elliot Lewis is in his BMW in 19th, and 20th goes the way of John Metcalf in 6th. 7th is Josef Nazarian, and Max Farrell is in 22nd in his class. Overall, I mean, row 12 goes the way of Andy Hearn, and next to him is Petty Jelinek. On row 13 is Christopher Bell, with Tyler Hammer in his Ferrari making up the back of the field. You can see these LMGT3s, a bit of a mix-up here. Ben Brown, normally near the front, is only good enough for, P27 there. On row 15, it's Elvin Blomqvist, another one of the Mercedes, and Fran Dorich is alongside. Then on row 16, we've got Mateus Fusken with Dean Smith at the back end of our grid. And on row 17, Christian Slink and Artem Kasanov, I assume, didn't set a time there. Row 18, actually, yeah, these are the ones that haven't,
These are guys who forgot to sign, who either weren't able to make the race and forgot to sign out, or basically just forgot to sign out. So let's...
But this should be interesting, Ben, because, well, as we've mentioned, Inter Del Rogia, It's good. Well, we mentioned the LMP2s at the best of the time are a hard car to get stopped, but when you're coming to that corner at probably around 310 kilometers an hour, that is really going to be hard to stop, and without even locking up, without hitting another car, and like they're going to be, and also with that massive slipstream effect that we're going to have down this main straight around Curva Grande into that corner. It's, as I said, we could literally have 3 or 4 cars wide going into that braking zone as well. It's really, I think this opening lap is just going to be about keeping the car on the circuit and trying not to be too bold with your overtakes, because it really is just going to be like tiptoe if you want to be successful, I think.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a massive cloud of brake smoke into the into what's normally the second chicane here. As these guys lock up, they're going to lose so much brake temperature down through that long straight as well. Then they're not going to be able to get the brakes really warmed up here. They've got one corner. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
So by the time they're through Curva Grande and reaching it, they've not got that hard braking zone of the first chicane to get some temperature into it. Those brakes are going to be ice cold.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be interesting. This is yeah. Hopefully everyone makes it through, but as you can see, Angela Scott at the front of the field will lead him up towards the start-finish line just before we get underway with this 4th round of racing. He's been a great season so far. That's instead of week of racing last week. Let's hope it's the same this week. Here we go. Angela Scott gets in the way, but actually that's not a good start. It's fallen to 5th. By the start, it's Wood that leads. David Wood in the lead. It's Alfie Bevan in the middle, actually on the outside of that sandwich. Jacob Hine in the middle, and as I mentioned, 3 wide as we come up
3 by 3.
Oh my goodness gracious! They're going to be bumping 4 in the background. I think nearly there. One of the cars is off. I think that's Dan Tomlinson. Tomlinson's off in the gravel in the background. I think he's got back on the circuit. 3 wide into the braking zone. Who's going to be the best of the late breakers? I don't think they've made the corner. I think Wood and Bevan may have cut the chicane there. Morgan and all cars coming through though. I don't think we've had too many offs. That was very nicely done by a lot of people. Alfie leads the way. Dave Wood 2nd. Hine in 3rd. Visperaz in 4th. 5th goes Ware County, and actually our pole sitter of Angela Scott. I'm just trying to even see where they are. What they
dropped to 6th.
Yes, sorry, I just couldn't see their name. There we go. Yeah, 6th. So that's a poor start from poor Angela. So we'll have to see if she can make her way up through this race, as Wood is apparently still fighting to stay in 2nd place. He's falling back from Alfie, who seems to have had a strong start to this race. He's already made up a 7/10 gap to the 2nd place man, who's trying to fight for position. Here we go. That's I think this is Angela still trying to fight with James Cowley. Cowley's going to hold the inside. Angela's going to have the outside coming into this corner. They're going to come onto the straight. It looks like Cowley's got ahead, but then here comes the slipstream effect. Here we come onto the straight, onto the motor advertising boards. Let's see where Angela Scott is going to decide to go. Going to look to the inside, and actually looks like a decent move. But the car ahead of Jacob Hine is going to give a little bit of help here, because it seems like Cowley's going to go to the outside. Angela's trying to find a gap to find their way through. He's looking to the middle of the 2 cars. Now he's going to the right again. It's a bit of a moving roadblock in front, and actually he's going to lose a place maybe to Kovac here, going down the inside, and Carpenter's gone straight on the background. Cowley's up to 4th, and it seems like Hine is, they're actually still side by side as they come to the first. Lesmond 2 by 2 still. Nothing separating these 2 on this opening lap, and they're still going to stay side by side. Hine's going to have the inside again. Cowley's going to have theirs on his round. Is it Angela's got in the middle of the pack? That's enough car in the middle field. That's a lot of cars. Tomlinson's gone into the side of Jacob Hine. I think Vevic's gone off. No, Vevic's actually cut around those guys. It's actually maybe Angela Scott potentially. Scotty involved. And actually, GT Freefield's now going to pass Jacob Hine. So running inside the podium places to now falling down the field into the traps of the LMGT Freefield. Not good news for the 2nd place car in this fight. I think actually, I thought it was Townsend, but actually on my time screen it says Nazarian is that 2nd place car. So oh no, Johan, see now I think that's just time screen actually having a bit of a funny moment. Oh no, it's not. It's the time screen update. So Downing, and I think it is Townsend running behind. I beg my pardon.
Since we're here, we might as well give the LMGT3s a bit of focus.
Yes, we might as well. Well, Chris Downing's had a good start, considering they're on the front row of the grid. Has been able to, well, the only driver in this field to hold on to their pole position, and Townsend's done a good job as well. Elliot Lewis up to third. Keesing falling back down to fourth in class, and actually this field not as close as it's been in previous weeks. These two look like they're the runaway tandem here. They have broke away from the rest of the pack. As you can see, a little bit of a gap there. Here we go, John Metcalf. And actually, Metcalf not looking too far behind Christian Kiesig at this point. This could be potentially an opportunity for him to go for a move. Kiesig is aware of that though, good positions the guys in the middle of the circuit. Metcalf doesn't seem to be close enough. In the background there's some overtakes going on. I think that's Farrell looking for a move in one of the lower positions. As you can see, those guys are all a little bit closer together. I think the Aston Martin of Petty-Yenek, a bit of a cork in the bottle, maybe not running as quick as the BMW. Oh, big off for one of the BMWs there as well. I didn't quite see who that was. It's maybe Andy Hurd, I think. It's down the inside comes on Petty-Yenek, one of the BMWs. I think that was Farrell, I think maybe. It seemed to be a little bit of a late move, and Petty turned in and has got collected into that gravel trap. I'm not sure if that was Farrell. Do you know who that was?
Quick looking again. I think that might be Ben Brown in the murk. Yep, on the inside. Just 2 into 1, don't go through that corner.
And quite a bit, a heavy bit of contact for Farrell and Brown there.
Yeah.
As you see them exiting the corner, but BMW went right into the rear, the murk there. And well, I suppose it's a little bit frustrating for Ben as well, because again, I think they were saying in this chat at least, that the Mercedes is a bit of a dog to try and drive around this circuit, at least on this setup. And I think, yeah, maybe just a little bit frustrating. Doesn't seem like it's quick anywhere, and he feels like he has to try and make the moves work when he can. And yeah, obviously just didn't want that time.
He was having to take. He was experimenting with very low wing in practice, and it tried to kill him. So it was definitely not the. It's definitely not an easy car to get round here from the looks of it.
No, it is. Well, this is. I think this is going to be his bogey race at least, because he's been very consistent over this season so far. Hasn't really put a foot wrong in the LM. Well, actually, we had a little bit of an incident last time out, but still ended up finishing on the podium in the LMGT3 class. He's finished so far this season. He's finished second, and first in the LMGT3 field. At the moment, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place in the LMGT3 class, and yeah, it looks like, well, as things stand, I think we've still got a long way to go in this race, but it could be a first non-podium of the season for Brown. But again, obviously there is a drop round, so it's going to come into good use for Ben. As we go to Leon Visperaz, currently in a fight with Kovac for the place inside the top 5. These two really going at one another, coming into the braking zone for Del Roger here. Onto the brakes, who's going to be the best? It seems like Kovac is. They're going to bang wheels, go for the first half, and it seems like Leon Visperaz on that inside line, just able to muscle out his fellow Orica driver, and there you go. It's carry on inside the top 5 in their class. And good defensive driving there from Visperaz to hold into the place. Not looking under as much pressure as he was, but that will change once they come back to the start-finish straight again. We'll come to Frank Vevic now. Vevic fighting with Tomlinson at the back of this field as they come through the second Lesmo. Back of the straight. Oh my god, Tomlinson very sideways coming out the second Lesmo. Yeah, and it's looking tricky today, isn't it, Ben?
It is looking a little bit twitchy out there, isn't it? Everyone pushing really hard. You've got to wonder how much people have taken downforce off to give themselves that straight line speed. Who was that off in this side there?
There was one off to the left, one off to the right. I think one of them is Kovac's same livery, so it might be Kovac. Morgan's one of them. Morgan's DNF'd, so that, I think Charlie Morgan may have been one of those cars. So it was definitely an oNiD car. Here's Charlie Morgan now, coming up towards the braking zone, comes into Ascari and is going to go off to the.
That's that's good.
Yeah. And then the other car must have just been by. So, there it is. Whoever that was, you can just see coming past. It's one of the white, orange, and black liveried cars. It's not Kovac.
I think it's Jacob Hine who just come out of the pits after repairing his damage.
Yeah, and he was in the wall on the outside of the Scarry, so coming into what usually would be turn 10 here. Oh yeah, here it is.
He's just about got away with that. It won't do his position any well, but it won't have killed the car.
No, he's done he's done a very good job. Maybe have flattened the tyres a little bit, trying to make sure it didn't hit that white safety barrier in those tyres there. But yeah, Hind back on track, and yeah, it could have been a bit more awful. But oh gosh, still looks like they're struggling though. We didn't make that chicane there in Del Rogia, so yes, not a perfect race for Jacob Hine as it currently stands. But on the other side of things, Alfie Bevan, considering this was a close qualifying session, is really running away at the front of this field, just under 5 seconds ahead of Wood from this start. Wood's actually under some pressure from James Cowley now, I think, as we look to our timing screen. About 7 tenths between Cowley and Wood, so there's going to be some little help of slipstream to Cowley here, not massive amounts, but it's going to have a little bit of tow coming up towards the braking zone. But
he's the sweet spot yet, but he's getting closer.
He is. He's about 7 tenths off down that straight, and it seems to be just hovering around there. As Jason Carpenter has moved up into the 4th place now, and is about 4 seconds back from this battle. And well, actually, their biggest focus is Braz behind. He's just below a second gap to them. Cowley, going for 3rd here. It's been a bit of I don't know how Cowley's season has really gone in the MP2 class. It seems to be one that's kind of a bit of hit and miss. So actually, no, I take it back. He's actually been going very well. He's took a 1st, a 2nd, and a 2nd. So Cowley, this actually would be their worst result of the season, 3rd. So
drop scores. That's pretty consistent there. If a 3rd is the worst you're dropping, you're doing pretty well out of it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. He's done very well. Literally, it's 1st, 2nd, 2nd. It's just been, and I think that's literally down to being consistent. I don't think it's been particular. He was quite strong at Silverstone where he won in the end, but it's the rest of the stuff. Well, when it comes to mind, he hasn't took many pole positions in mind, but he just seems to keep the car facing in the right direction, and I think that's the important thing for this LMP2 class so this season so far, because as we've seen, there's drivers that have been quick today, but they're already pretty much done and dusted for chances of getting a podium just through little mistakes that have been committed. So it is just really, this car is I can't stress enough, it is very tricky to drive, but if you can master it like Cowley has managed to do this season, or at least make it so it's drivable and isn't going to cause you too much fuss in terms of trying to throw you off the circuit like Cowley's done, you're in for a pretty consistent season, and Cowley's doing that at the moment. There's mainly Steiner coming into the braking zone right on. Actually, no, it wasn't Steiner. It's Stefan's right on the rear end. It just isn't able to get alongside them.
Yeah, probably got closer in the braking zone and then had to back out of it, and that's dropping Stevens into Alex Wood's path behind him.
Oh, and actually, here comes the traffic as a couple of the LMGT3s in the way. Actually, some gravel, you can see the dust still just there in the background as we come back under the old oval circuit, coming into the braking zone for a Sky. The MP2s made their way through, and actually a good run here for Dan Steffens could put them onto the rear of Steiner as they come down the back straight now. I mean, obviously it's not going to be enough. Oh my goodness, I've just looked in front of them though. That's a lot of LMGT. Well, actually it's 2 LMGT3s to be exact, but it's going to help maybe Dan Steffens here, because that looked like Steiner was held up by one of the marks there. So now as they come onto the straight, Dan Steffens looks in decent position to come with Steiner here, about 3 attempts between them, but here comes the slipstream as we come down the start-finish straight. Actually, also depends how much wing they have as well. It doesn't seem like Steffens is coming too quickly, but they are starting to closing. It is. It's starting to turn up. The VTEC's kicking in. As coming around the outside comes Dan Steffens. He wants to do this, so he has the inside for the next corner, but Steiner's aware of that, squeezes them onto the grass. That literally causes Steffens to get out of the move, and Steiner just about holds on. And the important thing for Steiner on this lap is to dispatch of these LMGT3s before they get to the straight again. And actually, that's a big favour done there. Johnny Ashley just getting in the way, not on purpose obviously, but has held up Dan Steffens a little bit there, and that's going to give Steiner a little bit of a gap and a little bit of a helping hand when they come to the straight next time around. And actually, it's helping the other cars behind as well, because it looks like Angela Scott is actually coming into the rear of these guys as well. So this is going to get close in a minute, and actually it could be Stephens. Stephens actually might lose the position before we get to the straight. Great run by Angela Scott. Oh my goodness, you couldn't put a piece of play between all three of them there, and Angela Scott's through up to 7th place. A great opportunist move done there by Angela Scott. She really just saw the gap, went for it, and prayed and got through. Very, very nicely done. Steiner's laughing at the moment. 2 seconds up the road after really being under pressure last time around, and won't have to worry about these two. They're going to be fighting, and this is going to be interesting coming down the straight. Some cars coming out the pit lane. You've got these LMP2s trying to slipstream each other. Too wide between Stephens and one of the Mercs running up ahead as well. These two are going to try and go through. She's been blocked. It does mean that Angela Scott would have had to have let off a little bit there, but it looks like Stephens is too far back as they come to Del Roger to take any sort of advantage. Angela's going to try and go down the inside of the McLaren. Does get the move done. Stephens is going to try and cut underneath, which they will do in the end. But Angela Scott still holds on to 7th, 2.2 though. Seconds down to Steiner. Steiner's really, that's really great timing for Steiner. All this traffic is really, Mother Endurance has treated them well. And and again, I think it's still getting way at the front of these guys. 2.3 is the gap.
Meantime, we'll go slightly up the road to John Metcalf on the back of Elliot Lewis here. And he's getting very much preparing to make a move, as John, by the looks of it. Tucked underneath that fellow BMW.
Yeah, the only issue is for John is there is an MP2 there, but I think actually he's going to get out of the way. Might try and cut between. No, he's going to go around the outside of both of them. So yeah, John Metcalf actually set up nicely here on Elliot Lewis to try and make up a place here. Let's see if Metcalf can do it. He's really tucked in behind the sister car here as they come down the straight. Obviously, Lewis is defending quite aggressively to the inside, but it's going to actually move over now to allow Metcalf to have a look up the inside. This may be Lewis attempting to try and stay alongside for the next braking zone, but actually loses out massively. As actually, I think they're trying to let some of the LP2s pass. I think that's Stephens and Angela Scott. Well, this is going to get interesting. They're going to come into the braking zone. Is Stephens and Scott going to stay single file? Yes, they are just about. But yeah, actually everyone just stays how they are. Yeah, so here we are, back to the 7th place battle for the LMP2 class, and Stephens onto the grapple there. That's not going to help them in terms of tyres, and staying in touching distance of Angela Scott here. Scott still 7th, Stephens about 6 tenths back, and oh gosh, actually I feel sorry for Metcalf now, because I can see the massive amount of car LMP2s I think that's going to try to make their way through at the moment.
That's a lovely shot of the trees ago.
Yeah, really lovely. I mean, it's a national park. They're there for a reason. We might as well admire them. As we're coming onto the back straight now, and actually Metcalf's got away from these things. So Metcalf, actually, I failed to mention, that was a move for 3rd in the LMGT3 class, and actually Kiesig trying to go up to 4th from 5th place. It just seems like Elliot is falling back through the order. I'm not sure what's really going on, but yeah, it just seems like a lot of pressure.
Not had the luck with the LMP2s where they caught him. John Metcalf able to manage them that little bit better and was able to use them to pull the gap. Whereas Elliot's been caught by them in all the wrong places and has ended up dropping back into Kiesig's clutches.
Yeah, and is it helping him though? In terms, is it helped Kiesig? But yeah, as you can see, just Kiesig, he's in similar proximity to what the other BMW Metcalf was, because again, you can see in a straight line that other BMW, bye-bye, Mr. Porsche driver has just left them. So that's the hard thing for Kiesig today, because actually no, never mind, no it's not. As Christian Kiesig goes through ahead of Elliot Lewis. Lewis is going to rejoin the circuit. I think that was Vivek that caught Lewis as they tried to lap the LMGT3 car, but obviously locked up and went straight into the side of it. Probably wasn't what they were attempting to do, but oh well. It has allowed Christian Kiesig a free overtake, and that's really what Kiesig needed, because I think it's quicker than the BMW around the tight, twisty parts of this circuit. Through Del Roger, through Ascari, through the Lesmos, it's going to be quicker. then when it comes to the overtaking zone at Del Roger, the BMW has the advantage heading into there just through its outright pace in a straight line. So this is really come in handy for Christian Kiesig, that little mistake from the LMP2 that's allowed them past, because it allowed them to push on in some free air and maybe even push on towards a podium if they can catch up with John Metcalf, who's about 1.7 up the road.
John, of course, our winner last week at Le Mans, and we'll be hoping to pull away from the Kiesig now with that straight line front of the BMW. I must say, my guess would be that Kiesig's not playing his usual fuel management strategy here, because around here, what's the point? There's only going to be so much fuel you can save, and then you're on the throttle for so much of the lap. There's no real chance to try and save up that fuel, so he might as well be going hell for leather and go for the outright pace on the car.
Yeah, I think really that's the best thing you can do, because it's clear the Porsches. Oh, actually, that's a big off. One of the Mercs there. You can see him missing the rear wing, just on the outside of the corner there.
That is Christian Schlink, I think. That was unintentional, right? I apologise. Oh, yeah. That
big snap.
Oof.
Oh.
That's about
we did see that.
Fourth of those I've seen in that corner today, and they've all been Mercs.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say to you. We saw a bit of a more acrobatic accident there, Elvin Blomqvist in that exact same corner. And actually, it does seem like Christian Schlink is able to drive that car away. Oh, never mind. It's still stopped.
Let's have a quick look. No, the car's dead.
Oh.
It's got nothing on the dashboard. That's going to be a DNF.
So, poor Christian Schlink then. That's going to be our, second DNF of the race, with Charlie Morgan going out earlier on in the LMP2 class. It's actually, considering what could have happened, I think we've had a decent... I mean, it's still 44 minutes. I could be jinxing it, but I've 2 DNFs in not too long of a time. We're not doing too bad at the moment in terms of the graveyard of cars. That's going to be... That's going to be up.
Focus on Christian there.
Yes,
staring at a dead car.
Yeah, look away. Nothing to see here.
Let's find a battle.
Yes. Well, here's some Mercs. Mentioning Elvin Blomqvist had a similar accident in the practice session, a bit more acrobatic, went end to end in that gravel trap when we were watching them. But currently is going to be fighting with that is one fellow
Dorich.
Oh, so Dorich and Elvin Blomqvist are going to run side by side here as they come up towards Curve. Grande and leans on them. Yeah. But no, they've kept it on, both of them on the circuit. I think Dorich is going to be very close to the grass, but keeps it facing the right way, as we can see coming into the corner. And actually, Elvin's got that move done.
The Merc's been doing a thing of oversteering mid-corner and then snapping back to the left, which is what we saw with Kiesig there. So that's Schlink rather. So that's not been the friendliest car from Curve Grande. We are showing an instant for Jose Mazzero, who is in the pits. Let's have a look, see. Or is the tool lying to me?
We'll have to find out. Here is Mazzero.
Fruscari. It's gone on, gets over the... Oh. And that's... Now, who's that?
Yeah.
Behind?
Well, it looks like this...
That was Alfie Bevan.
It was Alfie Bevans. That was our race leader. That's been collected by Josef Mazzeri. I'm sorry, I was looking down my notes, so I completely missed all of that. But yeah, Cowley's gone to the race lead. As, Cowley's leading the race. Wood's second now. And third has gone the way of Adusa Carpenter. So yeah, Alfie all the way down the top. And there is damage on that car. That car is wriggling. And it has wriggled its way into the pit lane. So that, disastrous for Alfie. And as we said, you can be quick, but you just need to be consistent. And I mean, to be honest, that didn't look really... to be honest, I didn't see much of that. But from what I could tell, it didn't seem too much of... it didn't seem too much of...
It's not come up on my...
Alfie's fault.
It's not come up on my instant sheet, but let's try and do it manually, see if it works. Technically, it is working. Nope, it's not going to play. Ah, well, worth a try.
Yeah. Well. I mean, it's been a good week for Alfie. A first, second, and a fifth in the TT Trophy series that we're running, and yeah, not a good start to this one with potential win looking like it's gone out the window, essentially. James Cowley on for a second win of the season, as we said, a first, a second, and maybe a first. So it'll be like a nice little sandwich of results at the moment, with like the bread is the ones and the two is the cheese and the ham. So absolutely indeed. So yeah, Cowley, looking on, but still 40 minutes to go in this. We've seen how tricky it's been for our drivers so far, so it's not done and dusted at any length.
Hands of touch with Cowley here, I'd say. He's still with a chance of getting. We've seen there's plenty of race left to go.
So he's about 8. So he's still inside the LMP2 field. He hasn't dropped back into the LMGT3. So he's about 89 seconds off of Vevik. So that's about just under a lap behind from them. Yeah, from Vevik, that's about just under a lap. So I think it's 1 minute 30. It's just under 1 minute 30 lap times there. So he's about, he's just ahead of Vevik. He's just about away from going a lap down from Vevik. So yeah, I mean, and then I think that, and obviously Vevik themselves is on the lead lap still. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, especially when everyone else has to come in again. Obviously, that bringing them closer to Alfie. And we have seen, and it obviously up until that point, Alfie did have some great pace, was showing some genuine speed. So it's I'd have to agree. It's far from over. It's still, I mean, it's still in for a good, could be in for a good result. It just depends what happens in the rest of the field.
Yeah, there's still so much to go here. But in the meantime, let's find a battle. I think we've got them brewing in the GTs. Ben Brown from Max Farrell from Daniel Johansson here. And that's going to be Ben in the very Larry Merc versus the two fastest cars we have out there today.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be hard for Ben to defend this. If in full honesty, he's really going to have to try and keep those two behind. But they are fighting, which is going to help. So here comes Ben back to the racing line, and actually these two in the background. So Ben in 19th, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place. So these two are fighting for 7th in the LMGT3 class. And there we go. Yeah, look, 7th place for these two. So the McLaren, compared to these two, it seems like the McLaren just has the edge on the BMW in terms of straight line speed from what we've seen today. Here comes Johansson. It's going to run side by side, and this could be a bit of a Jaws effect for Ben Brown if they get any closer. He might get swallowed up, but it doesn't seem so as Johansson takes the position away. Gets very twitchy over that curve there.
That was a little touch, and it got very squealy. They've closed up so quickly on the back of them there.
I mean, it is like they're GT2s, and he's in, well, not even a GT2. I say GT1, and he's like and he's in a GT3. Yeah, they are getting. They've caught up massively. Is what I'm trying to say. They are right with Ben right now, and he's going to struggle coming onto the next straight. But he's in the strong part of the circuit. Well, presumably it will be the strong part of the circuit for Mercedes. It doesn't seem like anyone seems particularly, well, at least from our chat anyway, it doesn't seem like any of the Mercedes drivers seem particularly excited about driving that car today. But this should realistically be the best shot where Ben can open up that gap. But it just seems that again the McLaren and the BMW just seem to have the legs on Ben.
I've got to say that I agree with Zach Silver chat. That did look very much like a bump draft on the last lap round to
it did indeed, and actually, maybe trying to push him up towards Ben as we come into the Parabolica now, and let's see, about 4 attempts back, comes into about 3 attempts. That LMP2 isn't really going to help the McLaren too much because he's going to have to compensate for them. But now as they come back onto the start-finish straight, it's about 4 attempts gap. We'll see how much this closes up. I don't want to jinx it, so I don't think he'll catch him because I'm not too sure how much the Mercedes is lacking in terms of straight line performance. It really seems to struggle. It's through this curve at Grande corner. It just seems like Mercedes just can't carry the speed that these two behind are. So as we come through now, you'll see the McLaren. I don't know. They just seem a little bit more planted. And as they come up towards this braking zone, this is really where the gap starts to come down. But the McLaren just still not close enough to get alongside of the BMW. Sorry, just to give the background between the Farrell and one of the LMP2s. I think it could be Angela Scott. It's one of the DKR engineering liveried LMP2 LMP2 cars as they come back through the Lesmos again. Gosh, and a little bit of help actually. This probably helps Ben a bit because those LMP2s are catching out the two faster cars behind and has opened up a half a second gap for Ben to have a little bit of a nice cushion there to try and help him out and try and help him in his defence. But actually now coming into the braking zone, he's going to be right up behind them. He's also got Tyler Hammer. He's gone back to the original C2 livery, or was it C1?
Yes, Citroen C1. The #blessed livery.
And Hammer isn't in. This isn't
caught out by the LMP2.
Yeah.
And he's getting. They are going past him in a big way, and that's Jansen to the outside.
Yeah, I think it was Tyler Hammer just seemed in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it has held up Ben a bit. He's going to hold the inside line through cover Grande. One of the LMP2s in the background. I think that could be Alfie because considering the damage we've seen. But coming onto the straight, and Ben's going to go to the inside. That's given the gap to the LMP2. I'm not sure whoever that was expecting Ben to go that much to the inside, but luckily he made the move early enough to not make it too much of an issue. Oh, this is going to get interesting as well. I think that maybe that's Dan Steffens coming alongside them and past as well. They're still going to run 2 by 2, but it looks like Daniel Johansson is going to go past Ben Brown for the place. And yeah, I don't know much Ben can really do there about that.
So I've got to say, as someone who generally drives the slower class of cars in own events, these are the moments you don't feel particularly cooperative towards the faster cars. This is very much a I'm in my own battle, go away moment.
Leave me alone.
It's like and the LMP2s know the score. They're not going to expect these guys to jump out of the way to facilitate them. This isn't F1 rules. They can see these guys are fighting. They are going to have to make their own way pass and do it safely, otherwise they will be shouted at. So
they'll get a stern telling off. But yeah, no, Ben's still keeping with him. Like through this section of the circuit, it doesn't seem he's that much slower. Still 4 attempts between Jansen and Brown, and it actually Brown's still even closing up coming onto this back straight. Great run onto actually this back straight, but I think the McLaren just has the pace advantage to just nerf him off a bit here, just to kind of keep him back and yeah, keep him within length as they come up towards Parabolica now. Comes into the braking zone. McMurk is a little. Actually, McLaren runs wide. He lost a little bit of traction there. You saw he got a little bit twitchy.
That's the sign of a lowered rear wing, that isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
That rear downforce bled off in a big way and got very twitchy.
Yeah, you can see he was kind of drifting through that corner rather than sticking Daniel Johansson. But the issue is, the Merc just doesn't doesn't seem to have any sort of pace in a straight line to even come back at the McLaren. It's the gap's going up to about half a second now. Oh, long yellow flag out there as actually coming into this part of the circuit. There it is. Oh, left hand side of the circuit. Is that another Merc?
That was
looked like actually a BMW. Oh, I don't know.
I think that was a Porsche. Let's.
I'm going to go with BMW.
I think it might be Hovsepp Nazarian.
So here is Nazarian.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a long way off.
Bosh.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yeah, and that seems to have killed the car again. So it seems like.
No, he's still got power.
Oh, no, he's still going.
He's not got much traction.
No.
He's got going. He is back on track.
Great by Hovsepp Nazarian here. Keep it going.
He's only a little bit left-hand down as well. I think he's definitely going to have to get it back to pits. Oh no, that does not want to turn, does it? Has he lost a wheel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's been having a good week on the GT Academy in the GT3s. I think he's currently leading that and had a third last time out in the Academy in the GT3 class. But yeah, no, I think that's the front right.
That's a missing front right, isn't it? You can see there's no tyre.
Oh, or left.
Front left, yeah. Oh dear.
Sorry, I couldn't tell. Maybe it's both. I mean, I doubt it's both. I don't know how he's steering. No, there it is. The front right's there.
He's going to feel very lucky that it's mainly right turns for the rest of this lap, isn't it? If you can get it back, get a new set of tyres and get some sticky tape put on the suspension, you can get back out in the race and at least try and bring in some points.
this lap's sort of predominantly right turns. It's 6 right turns over this lap, 9 turns in total. Oh, that's not going to help though.
Let's move away from his torment. And,
Yeah,
we
I mean,
have
it's going to be.
another incident that came up for Janos Kovacs.
Okay, so he's running decently up inside the LMP2 class, and that's
well,
excellent.
Yeah, that's a. I think that's a dead LMP2.
Yeah, where was that? Was that in Curva Grande?
Yeah, no,
not Curva Grande. It's Lesmo. Is it Lesmo? Yeah, it's second Lesmo. No, first Lesmo. Yeah, second Lesmo.
That's
first Lesmo.
That's a very strange off to have to go straight on there. That looks like his brakes failed.
For an LMP2 car, it's only kind of, from what I remember in the brief laps I did earlier, it's not really a high. Well, it's not really a high braking corner. It's a little bit of a braking corner, but compared to the rest of the lap, it's not nearly as tricky. So yeah, oh dear.
Sort of trying to avoid high braking full stop in the LMP
yes.
LMP cars because one lock, I genuinely, my hands went numb from the vibration from a flat spot on the LMP3s.
Good point by Zach Silver in chat. Unless he's had a wheel failure, could be that.
That's a good point.
It looked pretty straight.
It looks like he had no steering.
I think yeah. Because I mean, at least from what we saw, it did look like the car just went straight. So yeah, it could have just been a real world issue. And actually, on Brown, it's getting worse. It looks like 7th may be pulling out of Ben's grasp here. As down the inside comes Max Farrell into the Lesmo, but Ben a little bit later on the brakes. So that, at least for this lap, is going to hold on to the place and.
He's going to be sick of the sight of BMWs and McLarens at this rate.
He is.
Not only that, every single, with the exception of Johansson, every single car that's been locked into one, he's put the livery on for.
Yeah, no, it has been. I've been only sticking to Mari's work as it comes past. Like, oh, I did that. Yes.
Some memes never die. Managing to hold off Farrell.
It's really. It actually falls back a bit again. 3 temps coming onto this straight. And actually, looks like Farrell's under a little bit of pressure from this Merc behind. I assume it's Blomqvist, I'm going to say, because I know Blomqvist is running the iRacing livery. Yeah, so Blomqvist. A little bit too late though, so that takes a bit of the pressure away. So Blomqvist. Actually doing a good job to stay on the rear of Max Farrell, to be fair.
Bailed out of it there. He bailed out of it to stop the... Oh dear, we're getting another list of incidents coming up for Hovsep Nazarian.
Nazarian, so let's see, is this going to be coming out of the bits, or is this going to be... Oh no, here they come through the Parabolica. The issue is, and I may predict what's about to happen. Nazarian's going to have to come back across the circuit to get into the pit lane. So we may see a dodgy rejoin here.
He's doing his best, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. It may just be the slow-moving car that's caused.
I think it might be.
Let's see. Nazarian's still going, but I mean, it's going to be like a turtle crossing the road. It's going to be really tricky.
Desperately to try and get turned in here.
It's like having a shovel in front of your car without that wheel. You're just going to be taking all the gravel with you. I mean, if this was real life, you're going to need a bucket and spade to get all that gravel out. But luckily, Nazarian's going to have to try and manoeuvre across. At least, here we go.
It's not turning right through.
No. Here we go. Here it comes. No, never mind. Go now. Yeah, here we go. Yay. There we go. Yes. A great rejoin and entry into pit lane by Josep Nazarian there. Very
absolutely fair play to him pulling that one off.
He could have been very impatient, but got the job done. And then there you go, into the pit stall, and the car will be repaired. A great job there by Nazarian in how to get the car back to the pit lane. And here we go, back to the battle. We've joined him in the exact same location. Ben Brown, just under 3 tenths ahead of Max Farrell. This is going to be a hard one to defend off, at least for this lap. as they come up towards the curve of Grande now. Ben's going to hold that inside line. He really doesn't want that BMW to come through. He should then probably go wide out of this corner to defend the inside into the next section. No, going to go to the racing line. It's going to give Max Farrell an opportunity up the inside, but it hasn't gone for it. He's decided against it. He's gone, I'm going to got time to bide here. Haven't really got the Merc behind me giving as much pressure now, so
didn't quite
take
have
my
that
time in this
there to get it through.
No.
That's the that very close getting. He got to the back of that LMP2 Max there. He's just got to try and close up and use that straight on grunt to the BMW to get back under the rear wing of the Merc. He just needs to really gamble on the strength of those brakes to get him into there, and it's just not quite there for him at the moment.
No, it doesn't seem so. It's and actually the gap bigger this time around, 8 tenths between thanks to that some of the lapping cars going through there. So between Brown and Farrell, so maybe actually I think this should protect Ben for this lap. As we'll come back to this. Leon Vizbaraz and Manny Steiner. This is for place inside the top 5 again. Also not too far back. Looks one of the Inter-Europe cars. I actually don't think it's on the same lap though, because Steiner running 5th, Vizbaraz 6th, and actually then it should be Stefan stuff, and that's a lapped LMP2 car behind these two.
Alex Wood.
Yeah, so Alex Wood running obviously with these guys, but not on the same lap. As we make our way through the Parabolica there, and actually into the pit lane comes Leon Vizbaraz, so that's robbed us of a little battle there. It didn't really seem close enough to fully take the strength of that slipstream, and actually race leader James Cowley in for a stop as well. Angela Scott, Carpenter Wood lead the way at the moment, and actually this is where we probably should mention, this is where last time we saw a lot of stuff kind of flipped on its head. At least in the LMGT3 field we saw kind of drivers that had been nowhere end up in the lead of the race, so this could be an interesting pit window if it's anything, if last week's anything to go by.
It is that time and people are really pushing up. Cowley already finished his stop and will rejoin. I'll say, we haven't mentioned that much. Jason Carpenter's been running in second at the minute, but he's been running in third for most of this race.
Yeah, it just seems to be consistent. I mean, we saw them run, I think the only mistake we've seen from them it was into Del Roggio on lap 2, if I remember correctly. Just had to go through the escape road to rejoin the circuit. But apart from that, it's kept it consistent, and yeah, on for a good result here. I mean, if they can just keep it on the circuit. 24 minutes to go, still a long time, but she's had a really impressive run so far, and it seems to be continuing as they curve their way through the LMP2 class. Has about 12 seconds to Wood up the road, so that's going to be a little bit trickier to close down by the end of the race. But third is going to be a decent result for Dusa Carpenter. If we look at the rest of the season, Dusa Carpenter is 7th, 4th and 8th, so first podium of the season as they come into the pit lane.
That's Angela Scotty right behind her as well, who has had a bit of a fall down, but is fighting her way back on in the race so far. Has clawed her way back up to 4th position. Yeah,
and actually, Dusa Carpenter is going to lose a little bit of time there as they will reset back towards their pit stall. You can see just outbroke their pit markings a little bit, so that's not going to that's going to cost a little bit of time. As Wood still leads the way, running a little bit later than the rest of the field, so that obviously means they'll have to take on less energy and whatever changes they decide to make in this field. And we've got another lengthy yellow out, I've just noticed, so I don't know who that was for. Oh no, but it's got clear pretty quickly. Dusa Carpenter back on their way, and actually Angela Scott's got them. I thought they would, because Dusa, and this thing that I always remember Angela bringing up was when we did commentary on Sundays, was the importance of getting into your pit stall on your marks, and obviously Angela has lived by that, has done that, and that in result has meant that they have just nipped out ahead of Dusa Carpenter and have moved up inside back into the podium places. So a very classy pit stop there by Angela Scott.
I'm pretty sure these two are friends, or at least they were going into this event. I'm not sure they will be after that. But Scotty very much pushing out. Right, the yellow we had was for Dan Stevens. We'll come away just for a moment to see what happened to Dan, provided it actually works. Okay. That car Mitchell going up the inside. Oh, that's Max Farrell.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's on the racing line. Oh, so lucky not to be. Oh, it did get
something
collected.
clipped him.
Yeah, was that Tyler Hammer? I couldn't really tell, but it seemed like whoever did catch him, it was just a nip at the front end. Another car went straight on in the background into the gravel trap in avoidance as well. That might have been Petty Jelinek, who's was the media energy GT3 running behind.
We are seeing the GT3 field is stopping now as well. Daniel Hansen's just coming out of his, and a load of guys have stopped behind him.
Yeah, Metcalf's still out on the circuit though, with Christian Kiesig Downing in 15th, not 15th, 3rd place now as well. So we'll have to see what happens here, because yeah, this is really like last week, where and it only seemed to be last week, so we may not have the repeat of this, but it really turned on its head at this point in the MGT. As it just seemed like everyone, there was a complete shake-up of the order. It's like, oh, that's the end of the first half of the race. Let's do a Touring style reverse grid now and change the order around. Because that wasn't it? It was like, it just seemed like people came out of nowhere and then were at the front of the field, and dominantly at the front of the field. So we'll have to see. Obviously, it's a quite high-speed circuit here, so I can't imagine there's not much you can do in terms of strategic choice around here, but we'll just have to see. Metcalf
pretty much a one-stop race, so these guys will only one-stop. The question is, we saw those guys who took damage and are now fighting their way back. Were they able to get enough fuel in on those early stops to make it to the end, or are they going to have to come in again?
Yeah, I mean, Alfie running in 7th now after their issue. They're 28 seconds behind Steiner, and we do know that there's cars ahead of them, that Alfie, that have pitted. So yeah, so I mean, it's a decent comeback to Alfie in terms of they're leashed in the midfield at this point. But yeah, you've got a question as well: how much can they go to the end of this race with the fuel they've taken on? Because, well, yeah, who knows if they decided to take fuel, or if it was a quick stop to try and at least sew up some of the damage that had been caused as we come back onto the back straight. I'm just noticing quite a lot of the yellow again. No, never mind, it's gone as soon as I said. It's like I snapped my fingers and it disappeared. But here we come. So Juhan,
lovely shot of the grid whenever we go to a replay.
His Hein then, and goes to the inside of, I think that's Dean Smith, and comes into the braking zone. Oh, he's going to lose the rear. Yeah.
Just saves it from the wall.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, just about in the end for Hein, and actually joins safely in the end after that. So that's a nice rejoin, and actually it's probably the second incident today where it could have been a lot worse for Hein in terms of damage. Last one we saw actually through that Ascari section just as we left them. There's Alex Wood and Alfie still with one another. Wood about 5 tenths back from Alfie is and actually 1.3 seconds back is Steffens as well. So these guys, well, I'd imagine that Alfie's going to go away a bit more.
It's been a couple of laps now, and Alex has been holding on to the back of Alfie. He's not quite close enough to affect a pass, but he's not letting him massively get away either. No,
I mean, Dan Steffens not too far back from this either. 1.2 is the gap, so could easily join us briefly there for when within a second of these two. So yes, this could be a little bit of an interesting battle brewing. The gap opens up to 1.1 now though between Bevan and Wood, so maybe suggests that not a full repair of that car from Alfie. Still, if he's obviously he's been pace out in the LP2 class today, so you would imagine him to break away a bit. So it could suggest there's some damage still on that car that they decided not to repair, but that may be affecting them in terms of straight line performance potentially. But actually, no, it doesn't look like it though. The gap's actually going up as they come down straight up to 1.2 now. It actually looks like Wood's going to have to think about Steffens soon, who, again, briefly within a second, as Kiesig's gone as far as he could, And actually, I think it's last of the LMGT3s to pit now because was the front.
He is pitting from the lead. So it's going to be very close as to what he did manage to somehow round Monza curve at Grande. He managed to fuel save an extra lap spot.
So yeah, I don't know where he's found that. I think we're going to have to do some scrutineering. I think we're going to have to check that car. There's this extra fuel tank in there somewhere, but we'll see where that brings them out. So still actually second as they come out the pit lane. There goes Matt Townsend, so that's going to be up into, well, hit them down to third. And John Metcalf should have a straight line advantage here to enable them to potentially get easy by the braking zone. And maybe, the gap is coming down substantially as they come up towards the braking zone. Let's see what this looks like. Here they come now through curve of Grande. Is Metcalf going to be able to move back into the podium places? Onto the brakes now.
Late braking there.
Nearly into the back, but actually no, good call by Christian Kiesig. Moves them up inside the top three. That was a good call. And potentially on for a podium here for Christian Kiesig. And that's kind of a bit of a return from last week. Metcalf catching out Kiesig on strategy last week. Now Metcalf looks to be doing the same, has received the same in return. So this is going to be a little bit of an interesting battle for the rest of this race. Still, it's going to be the BMW that should have the straight line performance. We'll just have to see if Kiesig can stretch out some sort of advantage going through the corners. But remember, he's I don't think he would. I don't think he has gone for tyres because he seems up to pace pretty quickly. And I can't imagine cold tyres would be up to as quick as they are.
It would have been cold brakes that was the killer there. I come bearing bad news. Juicy Carpenter's had it off.
Oh no. And actually I can't see them in that. Oh, Carpenter's still sick though.
Down to 6. Let's have a look. Oh, the car just turned.
And that's what we get for saying nice things.
Yep, we cursed her. Again. Yeah. We are witches, aren't we?
I think we are. They're going to burn us at the stake.
Oh dear.
But yeah, oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse. Still sick. Still,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, still ahead of Alfie. Alfie's 22 seconds back with 14 minutes to go, and yeah, so we'll see if Medusa can hold on to that. But actually, as we said, Alfie's not really taking well tonight with the pace they're showing, or at least at this point in the race. It just maybe still carrying some damage.
Zach Silver is speculating that Alfie will be fuel saving due to how early he had to stop, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that would, so I mean the gap has come down though, 21 between Bevan and Carpenter. We'll come to, here we are, Metcalf and Kiesig. Let's have a look here. Let's see what these two are going to do. It's about 8 tenths between the pair of them as we come up towards the braking area for Ascari. It seems like Christian Kiesig is doing a good job as things are going to hold on to third. It's just about keeping it at a second's gap. Now slowly comes down as they go onto the straight, as you would expect. Actually no, there's Kavanagh coming onto the straight that's caused that gap to obviously go down, and that actually is for position, but it's obviously not.
It's throwing the battle thing off slightly there.
Yeah, but there we go. There we go, back through, and the gap's still about 7 tenths. So the BMW, I mean, it does have a straight line advantage by the looks of things, but it's probably not going to be strong enough to catch the Porsche in terms of this gap that's between them at the moment. It is coming down, as you can see, just within 7 tenths now, but obviously anyone can tell that it's not going to be coming down enough for Metcalf to go for a move on Kiesig at this point in the race. So with about 12 minutes to go, these two are really going to be yo-yoing within each other. There we go, about 6 tenths nearly as they came into the braking zone was the gap. And now we're really back into the part of the circuit where Kiesig's going to be pretty strong. Does kick up a little bit of gravel there, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this battle, how it evolves over the rest of this lap. I mean, Kiesig's going to really have to push to make sure that car stays ahead of the BMW. Obviously, I doubt is going to have to save it anymore. He actually can even tell how much they're pushing, because Kiesig, I mean, I would normally say is quite a clean driver, keeps it within track limits, but that's about 2 out of 4 corners there, they've kicked up the gravel. So you can really just tell from the personality of the car how much they're pushing, because they are dipping toes onto bits of gravel they probably usually wouldn't, because there's no saving at this point. This is really just about pushing Porsche as fast as it can go to try and nulligate that BMW's advantage in terms of the straight line around this venue. Just carries its street speed so much nicer and better and smoother. So as we come to the braking zone for the final corner through the Parabolica now, the gap is coming down. It's about 5 tenths this time. It was about 7 tenths last time. Goes up to 6 as they come onto the start-finish straight and coming right towards the wall. I think trying to follow the Porsche identically is Lightning McQueen here, but it just, again, I think it's a little bit too far back. It may be a little bit closer when it comes towards the braking zone here, but it just isn't in the realm of going for that move.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same on fuel usage, pretty much the same on the amount of fuel they've got left. I think John's got about half a percentage point of fuel, which isn't really going to make much of a difference in the spirit, in the scheme of things. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to be able to find what he really needs is for Kesey to get slightly caught up behind the lap car in LMP2 and just give him enough of a chance to close that gap. And once he's within that half a second where the slipstream starts to really pick up, it will give him that chance to make a move and make it stick.
The issue is, it's this LMP2 of Alex Wood is actually just doing what you're saying, but actually, so John Metcalf is that gap 1.1 seconds now, and that's not going to be good for Metcalf, because he needed that gap to come down, and now it's at nearly 1.5 seconds. So yeah, definitely isn't going to be attacked from this BMW, at least on this lap. So yeah, he needs some traffic to really help, giving him massive help in hand. So we'll come back to this battle. I think this is, what I'm going to say, I think 7th place. Yeah, it is 7th place. As it looks to be in Elvin Bottas leading the way from Ben Brown at the moment. We've got Mercedes AMG on Mercedes AMG as it comes. They come round onto the straight. So obviously, at least these two are experiencing the same disadvantage at this point in the race, and actually Ben looks a little bit stronger on the brakes. Max Farrell somehow ended up still behind these two, even though it looks like BMW's been stuck behind them forever. But somehow Elvin Bottas has jumped the pair of them, has actually moved up into 7th place, so it's a bit of a buddy over the pair of them, and it's going to actually use the LMP2 to try and give them a little bit of a slipstream as they come down the start-finish straight. Is Ben Brown going to be able to take advantage of this? Is he going to be able to get any sort of closer? It's about 3 tenths, but the gap actually slightly crawling up as they come up towards Curve Grande. They turn the car in now, and it doesn't look like Brown's going to be able to catch. It depends how much he closes up into this braking zone, but again, the gap just stabilising about where it is. Max Farrell not too far off again, but as they come into the braking zone, they all close up, but no one really close enough for an overtake. And Elvin Bottas, they got all 4 wheels off the ground there as he hit that sausage curb.
Yeah, I think Ben's having to be a bit careful as well. He's got a lap less worth of fuel than these guys. So I wonder if he's having to sort of temper his desire to push and try and make a pass with the knowledge that he's 1 lap less in there. So if it goes to that extra lap, it'll catch him out.
He's going to need a push.
Well, the last thing he wants for his championship position is to end up having to be pushed around or having to DNF as a result.
Yeah, I mean, he really wouldn't want to DNF. I think, as I said, I think he's podiumed every round this season so far in the LM GT3 class. If we just take a quick look, yeah, he's got a second, third. So this 8th place that they're currently running in is, well, yeah, much further down the order than they usually are. It just seems like the Mercedes just really not suited well to this circuit, and actually this could be an opportunity though. It's very wide for Elvin Bronfist, and yeah, the LMP2 comes underneath them, and Bronfist moves over to try and take some sort of straight line advantage from the LMP2. Slightly has helped actually, because now it seems Ben Brown's had to get right back behind. Now we're weaving like a snake down the start finish straight here at Monza. They're all going to be right up behind each other. Max Farrell's going to have to keep an eye on him in this battle as well. He's going to go to the outside, is Ben. That'll give him the inside for Del Roggio, at least the first section of it. He's off in a big way. That's a big accident. I think they've come together all off as well. Elvin Blomqvist into the same adventist wall. big back end damage for both Mercedes AMGs. That's going to put Max Farrell up into 7th place. Both cars missing their rear wings. Both cars crabbing their way back onto the circuit. Ben, let's have a look at this.
Oh, 100%. I'm not leaving that one to lie. Let's
I didn't even. It didn't look like there was even contact.
I think they just washed out. No, Ben, no contact between them.
Oh. Big hit. I'm surprised Ben was able to run after that. Like we've seen cars go off in a smaller way today and retire due to the car not switching on anymore, but I think Ben was like he's going rearwards there.
Look at what Elvin got a couple of wheels on the grass. That turned him round and he's in the back.
Maybe it's kind of keeping his... I think that may have been a moment of looking in the mirror and getting caught out potentially by seeing the other car going off.
Oh, Elvin's had the DNF.
That's incredible though, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, considering
that's the replay playing up there.
But yeah, I mean, considering how much heavier Ben hit the wall compared to Elvin, you wouldn't have thought that. But no, that's it for Blomqvist. Yeah, no.
Something has happened to Angela Scotti in the midst of all that as well. Let's have a look. I'm not sure whether it was involved in the same place, but there was a lot of chaos going on there. Oh, that's
no, we're into the Lesmos by the looks of it.
That was something.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun, but it's so obviously it's had a hard spin, hasn't gone into the wall, but that has allowed a decent Carpenter to go through. That now is that Alfie going through? I think that might have been Alfie. It was certainly his livery, but
let's move away from it felt cool.
But Dusa Carpenter now back up into 5th place. Angela Scott down to 6th now, so that's obviously changed. I mean, they both had issues now, so it's kind of corrected the way they were before they both made mistakes. So take that as you will. In terms of the front of the field, Cowley still leads the way, 12 seconds. It's then Visbraz now up into 3rd, Steiner 4th, Carpenter in 5th, 6th is Scotty now, and 7th is our No, it was Angela Scott who was the most. Yes, so our former race leader, Alfie Bevan, is now finds his way in 7th. So that's kind of the story of the order at the moment. It's still 14th Downing still leading the way in terms of the LMGT3 field, followed by Townsend in that class. And we'll come to this battle now for 11th. It's Jacob Hine and Dan Steffens, about 4 attempts between them. Without, oh my goodness, only 4 minutes to go, Ben.
Yeah, it has been a bit action-packed, hasn't it? And it has run up quickly, especially after that pit stop phase. Everyone's gotten a bit mixed up, and the amount of traffic these guys are having to deal with has really played into some terrifying moments for people.
Yeah, as indeed, and this is getting nice and close now, but actually that's an LMP2 that's not on the same lap as these two, so they're going to go jump through. There's Chris Downing on the inside, they're going to go 3 wide past one another there briefly for a second now, but it seems like Dan Steffens is, there we go, going to go through, take the, well not the position, but it's going to take the place on circuit, and now can refocus himself on Jacob Hine, but 8 attempts is the gap, so not really going to be an opportunity, at least on this lap, the time around, and actually, in the late stages of the race, not too close. It seems pretty solidified for everyone, unless they make a mistake. That Mercedes battle probably would have gone for a while if we hadn't seen them both go off in such a spectacular fashion. But this close battle on circuit, just less than a second between Hine and Steffens for the final place, just outside the top 10 in the class. Kovac makes out the back of the LP2s now in 13th. Place, but the AO Racing liveried car trying to catch Hine, who's just up the road, but that's not helped too much either. The gap opening up now, 1.5, 1.3 seconds between Hine and Steffens, and I think we've just had a bit of a calm down near the end of this race. I think it always, especially now, that's going to put an air in it. 1.9, now 2 seconds between these two. And car off in the background, that was an MP2 spinning. I couldn't quite see who that was. Who's losing time? It doesn't seem like... it looks like Dan Woods.
That was Dave Wood.
Dave Wood, not Dan. Dave. Yeah, Dave Wood. So that's going to be interesting for Vizbaraz because Wood needs to try and get that car turned around before Vizbaraz gets anywhere near. Let's see. So here's Dave Wood. Turns the car in. And yeah, just loses it.
Yeah. Little bump.
Oh, luckily. I was gonna say. Luckily, it didn't look too sideways.
That probably didn't help, Dave. That's a rejoin. That's
a donk.
That's a thing. I love the way the replay finishes at the end.
But it's okay. No one's come together at least, and it seems like Wood's doing okay. We're watching through the parabolica here because just to see if there is any rear end aero damage. But the car looks a bit unstable actually. It doesn't look particularly. Is it crabby?
Happy.
It looks a bit crabby. It doesn't look. It doesn't look like yes.
Yeah, that's
yes, it is.
That's not how the steering wheel's meant to work unless you're in a dirt oval sprint car.
But depending on where Cowley is, we're about a lap, probably this lap and one more to go. As Cowley's about 30 seconds up the road. Oh my goodness! The interesting thing is how much do you want to push through there? Don't want to throw it off at this late stage of the race because that car is really not going to be stable through that corner trying to fight it. It's going to be wanting to go in the other direction, but it seems like Wood's doing a good enough job to keep it in the right way. The only issue is that Vizbaraz is closing that gap. 6 seconds
in the first half of that lap.
Did you say 3 seconds?
3 seconds he's taken out of the start of the lap.
Oh goodness, yes, this could be interesting because I think there'll be a lap to go.
Not looking happy for the Lesmans.
Yeah, so this could be an interesting bit of action coming down to the final lap of this session. Cowley still seems to be leading the way, but it's about 30 seconds up the road, so should be going on to their final lap of the race right about now. So that's going to give everyone else a bit more time to go around. That'll be interesting for Brown, who may be low on fuel, as we mentioned. I don't know if I don't know how this affects his extra lap, but it seems Wood is doing a good enough job of keeping that gap now. Around that last half of the lap, it stayed around the 6 second marker. We'll just have to see how much it goes down, at least on the next time he makes it to the straight. But James Cowley, we really haven't seen much of him again today. He's just been doing his own thing. He's been at the front of the field. He's been having a nice time. He's in his nice little oNiD livery. Very nice livery. I like the kind of metallic-y looking purple on it. As the yellow flag comes out, doesn't seem like anyone in support of it. Isn't
Ben Brown again. Let's have a quick look. See, I wonder if he's decided not to pit.
I mean, that would be interesting.
He's down the back. He's definitely.
Oh, here he is. He has pitted. Oh, is he out of fuel? I think he might be out of fuel. Yeah. So the strategy hasn't paid off in any way because that's before he would even have got to that extra lap. So the car's come down before. And, well, that's bad for Ben. As we mentioned, it's had such a great start to the season. A second, and third. But this is going to be their drop round. It's a DNF for Ben Brown. And it's not been a good day for Mercedes drivers at all. It's been absolutely disastrous. I'm surprised he didn't go for an extra little bit of fuel. But anyway, there you go. James Cowley, second win of the season at round 4 of the OLMS. And a great result. But also, again, was kind of running inside the top 5 in qualifying. Didn't seem the fastest driver in the field, but consistency is key, and that's what we've seen again from James Cowley to take their second win of the season. It's actually two wins in 2 seconds. So a nice little bit of repetition going on there. As Chris Downing through the final corner now. This is them going to come through for their first win of the season. It's our second different winner from 2 rounds now after a dominant start to the season for Christian Kiesig. But there you go. Chris Downing wins round 4 in the LMGT3 class. A great result for the McLaren driver to round out this evening's racing. As there you go across the line as welcomes Manny Steiner to come home in 4th in the LMP2 class. They do come to around the top 5 in the LMP2s with a 5th place at the end of things. Oh, it looks like our pole sitter Angela Scott is only going to be able to manage a finish of 6th in the class in the end. Alfie Bevan, who led the race as well, only going to manage 7th as we come up towards the start finish line, and there we go, comes across the line now to secure that result as they'll continue on in straight line. Kiesig in the end finishing 16th, so that's going to be good enough for third in the end in the LMGT3 class. So that's a great result for Christian Kiesig in terms of this being a venue that Porsche wasn't suited to, but has actually got a decent result from it in the end. Townsend in second in that class as well rounds out that result. Here's Johansson coming across the line as well, followed by Elliot Lewis. There's Johnny Ashley as well, but I think that this is pretty much rounds us out for what was a rather chaotic fourth round of the championship.
It was indeed. Right, in the meantime, let's give ourselves a result screen. So, after you.
Sorry. Yeah, no. James Cowley takes their second win of the season, followed by Dave Wood and Leon Visperas as Manny Steiner comes in fourth. Adisa Carpenter comes home in fifth. Our pole sitter only good enough in sixth for Angela Scott. Seventh, Alfie Bevans seemed to have a pretty strong hold on this race until a little bit of a tangle up with the LMGT3 field. Alex Wood in eighth. Ninth is Dan Tomlinson, and I'm rounding out our top 10 is Frank Vevik in his LMP2 car. Then we've got 11th goes away of Jacob Hine after a few little offs we saw. Lucky not to be lower after those offs. 12th, Dan Staffens. 13th goes away of Janos Kovac. Winning in the LMGT3 class, Chris Downing. 15th and second in the LMGT3s is Matt Townsend. Christian Kiesig comes home in third. A great result for the Porsche. Not a strong venue for it. John Metcalf, fourth. Fifth goes the way of Daniel Johansson. Sixth, Elliot Lewis. And seventh goes the way of Max Farrell in their BMW. A big gaggle of BMWs there with the McLaren as well. It's round out the top 20 half of the field. Then on to the 21st row, Peter Janek in the Aston Martin. 22nd goes the way of Fran Dorich. Johnny Ashley in another of a Porsche in 23rd. Christopher Bell comes home in 24th. Andy Hearn comes home in 25th. Tanner Hammer, 26th. Dean Smith in 27th. Matthias Fusken, 28th. Josef Nazarian, after some big offs, comes home in last place in the end and 12 laps down. Ben Brown is one of our DNFs. We saw him in that big off at Curva Grande. Actually, not the big off at Curva Grande. The running out of fuel at the end there means he finishes 30th. And the worst result of the season. 31st goes way of Elvin Blomqvist. Did go off at Curva Grande in the same fashion as Ben Brown, and that conked the engine out by the looks of it. 32nd, Christian Schlink. Charlie Morgan obviously saw them go off as well at Ascari into that left-hand wall, and it ripped off the rear tyre. So there was no getting that car back to the pits, and the others were all non-starters to this race.
They were indeed. A little correction we've had. Ben's engine went pop, apparently. Hang on, just a second. And I'll jump back to this because otherwise people won't be able to hear us. So that's going well. Yep. Apparently Ben Brown's engine not making it to the end of the race there. That has been a thing that seems to have come in recently. If you've you can damage the engine and then make it explode. So I had to, unfortunately, retire the car.
Oh, well. Yeah, obviously, moral story, don't drive a Mercedes at Monza. Because it just seems a bit of a handle.
Definitely. Just a second. Where the hell? There we go. We should be able to hear you now on the hold screen as well.
Okay.
Which was helpful.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, great racing there, up and down the field. That was mad.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, if Le Mans was quite carnage and racy field, but that was right up there with it. A lot of carnage, a lot of big accidents. But no, a good race in the end as well. And it does shake up the championship as well as we head into our final two rounds after this one. So next week it will be heading off to Spa-Francorchamps, and then our final round on the November 24th will be taking place at the Great Italian Circuit of Imola. So yeah, 2 rounds to go after this one, definitely past the halfway point now, and this is where the championship with its drop rounds, it starts to take a bit of form. We start to see what really is going to what mistakes were as big as they were, or if they were actually as little as they were with those shot rounds. So yeah, a lot to come up.
Absolutely. But we have a lot of racing still to go this week as well. We've got racing for the next 3 nights here at oNiD and a 5th night over on GridLink. Tomorrow night we are back with Assetto Corsa in the Audi TT Cup cars, which have been putting on some great racing on a Tuesday night with 3 sprint races and a reverse grid. Great fun. Come along and watch that one. I'm sure you'll find something to enjoy in it. Wednesday we are back with the SimHound Academy, who are going to, as Ben tries to remember, because it's been slightly confused. We had a week that's been shuffled around. Right, we are back at Silverstone for the SimHound Academy on Wednesday for a 1 hour race in LMP3s and GT3 cars. Thursday we are back with iRacing in the Clubman Cup, the Club Challenge, and we are going to Okayama International Circuit. Great little circuit, great fun track for these cars. So look forward to seeing what the racing around there. And then finally we are back on GridLink on Friday for a special around in the Brazilian sprint cars around a couple of tracks on AMS2. Not streamed that one, but you're more than welcome to come along and race. So come and rock up, have a load of fun, and see if you can stop Johnny winning everything as he has been doing. So plenty to be getting on with this week at oNiD, and we look forward to seeing you all out on track. Any final thoughts from you, Tom?
No, I was going to say no. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think great day of racing, and I think that's where we're going to leave it off.
Absolutely. Well, we will see you all next time.
Cheerio.